and they've said that the person driving the Volvo waited in the car all that time with the windows down and the front door open, the passenger door open, when it was literally chucking it down with rain and it was windy. Why is that, Gemma?
No comment.
The car stank, didn't it, Gemma?
No comment.
Stunk of a dead person.
No comment.
Stunk of Deborah's decomposing body. Is that right, Gemma?
No comment.
For the best chow chow and sausage dogs, don't forget to follow Daz_DB Bulldogs, a Leeds-based breeder. And get info today and make sure that you're getting the best dog for your family. Early in the morning on the 11th of June 2021, Jemma Mitchell was seen carrying the body of Deborah Chung in suitcases out of her home in Wembley. The police believe she murdered her there, and she was captured on CCTV leaving the address carrying 2 large suitcases. She then got into a minicab, and Jemma Mitchell took the body from the property 2 weeks after she had murdered Deborah in order to try to steal her will and make her leave all her money to her to pay off debts that she had. This is a story about greed and how desperation can make people become callous and cold human beings. For the first time ever, a UK court has live streamed a judge sentencing somebody to life in prison for a murder. This case is about a woman who befriended somebody in church and then manipulated her and carried on to lie and deceive and ended up murdering her, all for monetary gain. Jemma Mitchell, 38 years old, from northwest London, was found guilty of the murder of 67-year-old Deborah Chung, also known as Mi Quen Chung. Following the conclusion of the trial at the Old Bailey on the 27th of October, Mitchell was remanded in custody to be sentenced on the 28th of October, which is today, and the court heard how Mitchell had met Deborah through a church and the pair became friends. Jemma Mitchell also acted as a spiritual healer, and Mitchell had been in the process of renovating her home, and she was in desperate needs of more money to complete the work. Deborah had agreed to provide the money, which was in the region of £200,000, but at some point she changed her mind, and this decision, which was days before her murder, led to the pair falling out. Deborah was last seen alive on the 10th of June 2021 by one of her lodgers in her property. On the morning of the 11th of June 2021, Mitchell was then seen leaving the property with the 2 suitcases. Jemma Mitchell drove to Salcombe in Devon on the 26th of June and dumped Deborah's remains, which were later discovered by a family who were walking in the woods. Straight after, Mitchell had made a false report via email to a missing persons charity and also sent a WhatsApp message to Deborah's lodger saying Deborah had gone to spend time with her family for a year to clear her head. The prosecution said that what was even more chilling was that when Deborah was found, Mitchell also wrote that she had planned to put her in the ocean so she wouldn't be found. Upon discovering Deborah's body, they found that she had been beheaded. So Jemma Mitchell went on to cut the body into pieces in order to try to help with decomposition and also to make her less identifiable. A post-mortem examination concluded that Deborah suffered a skull fracture along with several injuries that were consistent with assault. It was also concluded that the head would not have been removed by any animal or any natural activity. It was also revealed during the trial that Jemma had experience in human dissection following a degree that she had received. After Deborah's body was found, reports started circulating via the media, and Mitchell no doubt realised they had found Deborah's body.
Emergency.
Hi, I just found a body.
Oh, go ahead, caller. What's your emergency?
I just found a body.
Right, okay. A body, is it? Are they breathing?
No, they're dead. They look like they've possibly been there like a few days or something with some flies and stuff.
Right, okay. Bear with me a second. Let's pop this on.
What's the road?
Yeah, what road are you on?
I'm in Salcombe.
You're in Salcombe, sorry. Let me have a look. I can populate, hopefully, where you are. So, Bennett Road, are you quite near the harbour?
We're up from North Sand Beach. Hang on, which is a Google map.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I can see North Sand Bay.
Road.
Bennett Road, yeah, you are on Bennett Road.
She went on to make a further fraudulent email on the 13th of June to another missing persons charity, saying that Deborah had contacted her to say she felt neglected and was staying with family by the sea. Jemma also forged a copy of Deborah's will, ensuring 95% of her estate was left in her name. This was also found at Mitchell's property following the arrest, along with various possessions that belonged to Deborah. Also found were identity documents for the neighbour of Mitchell who had died in May 2021. Mitchell had used this person's identity as a witness to the forged will, as well as reactivating their mobile phone so she could hire a car to transport Deborah's body to Devon. Once Deborah had been identified as the victim, detectives began to speak to those who knew her, and they quickly found Jemma Mitchell, and she became a suspect of potential involvement. She was arrested consequently at her home on the 6th of July and declined to answer any questions that were put to her while she was in custody.
Police! Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good. There's no answer. Sorry, what's your name?
Sorry, we were asleep.
Are you Jemma?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Jemma. Just could you hold a second?
Sure, it's yours.
Come on a second.
Sorry, can I ask
Gemma, do you want to come out?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just want to see them.
Hand just over to your hands. Alright, Gemma, at this moment, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. Okay, you don't have to say anything, but you may have a defence. Do not mention one question, something which you later rely in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence, okay? Once we're in the cuffs,
Am I allowed to...
I'll go explain everything to you. Okay?
Should I get some
Yeah,
shoes
sorry.
then?
What?
If you want to one sec.
Inside?
Who's inside at the moment?
Mother.
Your mother?
Okay.
Okay. If you want to... Oh, someone lift that up.
Yeah. Let's step back inside.
Is anyone else inside? Just your mum?
Yeah.
There is someone else inside,
No,
or just your
that's
mum?
just my mum, yeah.
Alright, do you want to... Should I bring her out, or...
Bring her in.
Bring her in?
For a minute.
Well,
yeah.
we're just going to come in for a sec.
She was charged on the 9th of July with the murder of Deborah Chung. Detective Chief Inspector Jim Eastwood, who led the investigation, said the motivation for Jemma's actions was money, and she showed a significant degree of planning and calculation, and she attempted to cover up the horrific crime. Deborah Chung was a vulnerable woman, and in the weeks that led to her murder, she was seeking help for her declining mental health. However, Mitchell, who was so desperate to obtain the money that she needed to complete the renovations of her home, sought to take advantage of Deborah's goodwill. But Deborah had changed her mind, and we believe this is what led to the murder and subsequent fraudulent activities to try to obtain her estate. The police said they will never know why it took so long for her to dispose of her body, or why she chose to go to Devon, and also why she chose to decapitate her, but they are happy that justice has been served and she will spend the majority of her life behind bars. And the breaking news in relation to this case today, in relation to the sentencing, the live reports from the courtroom has said the judge has given her 34 years in prison for the murder at the Old Bailey. Judge Richard Marks KC handed down the sentence, which is the first ever televised sentencing of a woman in the UK for murder, and she's been jailed for life with a minimum of 34 years. The sister of Miss Chung said in a statement to the court, "I can't imagine how life will go on without her, and that the Malaysian custom of burying her can now not happen because her body is not complete." The judge also stated in the sentencing that the murderer was not remorseful in any way, shape or form, and she had deceived everybody in relation to the murder, and most callously she had deceived Deborah in order to commit this horrendous crime. So really appreciate you joining me for this story, and please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and send your news to news@scarcitystudios.com. My condolences to the family and friends of Deborah Chung, and we'll definitely be back very shortly with some more news.
Unfortunately, she had a history of serious mental illness, having been diagnosed some years ago with paranoid schizophrenia, and she had spent some months as an inpatient at a mental hospital. Shortly before you killed her, she had suffered a relapse and, against her will, had been put on antipsychotic medication. As such, and as you well knew, she was particularly vulnerable, both mentally as well as physically. And the jury saw from the CCTV evidence how in the days before her death she walked with difficulty, needing to hold on to the arm of her lodger as she did so. The messages that passed between the two of you showed that she was very well aware of your problems with regards to the house and was proactive in attempting to help you.